So just let your hands come to rest on top of your legs. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall. Lift up through the crown of the head. Deep breath in. As you exhale, just feel your shoulders soften down and back. Take another deep breath in, sitting tall, and feel your spine lengthen. The crown of your head floating up to the ceiling. As you exhale, feel the corners of your eyes soften. Feel your jaw relax. Another deep breath in. We're going to count from 5 to 1 on these breaths. So we'll inhale for 5. And exhale, 5. With each exhale, feeling yourself softening, relaxing the body. Inhale, 4. Exhale, softening any muscles that don't need to be tense, especially around the face. Inhale, 3. Fill your body up, feeling this fresh air and oxygen fill your body. Deep breath. And then on the exhale, just feeling yourself here in this room on your mat. Feel the floor beneath your body. Inhale for 2. Exhale, sensing the space around you, the floor beneath you, the ceiling above you. Inhale for 1. And exhale, feeling yourself present and here and ready for your practice. And bring the hands together right at the heart, tuck the chin, and just take a moment to welcome yourself to this practice, to this time that we have together to take care of our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and just to give ourselves this time of self-care. Thank you for taking the time to give this gift to yourself today. On your next inhale, we'll release the hands and then just sweep the arms out and up. Make a big circle. Touch your palms above the head. And then as you exhale, draw your hands down your heart to the midline. And then again, deep breath in, sweeping the arms out and up. Touching the palms. And then exhaling. Drawing your hands right back down to the heart. Do this a few more times on your own. With each breath, just imagine really stretching through the arms and fingertips. With each exhale, as you bring your hands to center, feeling yourself become more focused. One more time. And then just gazing down to your fingertips. Take a moment to pause, feel your body, feel your breath. And then we'll release the hands. Okay, so let's go ahead and come onto hands and knees. If you want a little bit of padding for your knees, you can use your blanket. Okay, if you have a thin mat or if you're on a hard floor, just place it under your knees like this. We'll keep the toes tucked, spread the fingers wide, and come into tabletop. So this is a flat spine, toes are tucked here, and you're looking down at the floor, fingers are spread wide. So we'll begin with some nice easy cat-cows. Inhale, arch your spine, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Feel the stretch in your spine, tuck the chin. Again, inhale, looking up, arch the spine. Exhale to round and tuck. Continuing this movement here, cat-cow, on your own. With each inhale, arching the spine, feeling the stretch in your belly, the front of your body. With each exhale, as you round and tuck, feel the stretch in the neck, the spine, the back of the hips. We'll do 2 more rounds here. Okay, and then after your last one, just coming back into tabletop. From here, we're going to do a little stretch for the wrists. So you're going to turn your right hand to the right and then towards your knee. So you're just kind of rotating so that the fingertips are pointing towards your knee. And then your left hand turns to the left and then the fingertips towards the knees. Okay, if this feels really intense, you might just have to walk your hands a little closer to your knees. And then try to spread your fingers as wide apart as you can. Palms are flat on the floor. And just take a couple deep breaths in and out. If this is already a good stretch, stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can very gently rock your weight back to intensify the stretch. But just go slow, be gentle here. Okay, the wrist can be kind of sensitive, so you don't want to do anything too jarring or too sudden. And just bring your attention to the wrists, the forearms, the hands and fingers, breathing deeply. Whatever sensations arise, just noticing. If anything is too intense, just back off a little bit. Okay, and if you want a little bit more, we're going to lift the heels of your hands off the floor. Okay, and then just sit back towards the heels so that just the tips of your fingers are on the mat. And then you can bend your elbows to intensify the stretch just a little bit. You can see my elbows are barely bent, and this will get a deeper stretch through the fingers and the palms of the hands, as opposed to just in the forearms here. So a couple more breaths. Just feeling the hands and fingers waking up. Okay, and then we'll gently release and then bring your hands back to face forward. Okay, so hips are over the knees once again. Okay, from here we're going to flip the hands so that the palms are facing up now and the fingers are spread wide. Okay, again, same thing on the left side. So palms are facing up. You might have to walk your hands a little closer to your knees. Spread the fingers so that all 10 fingers are spread wide, touching the floor. And then again, just stay here, or you can lean your weight back a little bit to intensify the stretch. Deep breaths in and out here. And if you want more still, you can sit your hips back even more. And then just press the tops of the hands down into the mat. One more breath here. Good. And then we'll unflip the hands. Sit back on the heels. Take a moment just to feel the soles of the feet and the bottoms of your toes waking up. If this is too intense, just keep your fingertips or your palms on the floor and drag your toes back. So now we're stretching the soles of the feet and behind the toes. Okay. If you're sitting back on your heels, just let your hands rest on your thighs. Nice and tall spine, deep breath in. And exhale out. Good. From here, we're going to bring the hands back down to the floor, walk them forward, and we're going to come into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, and just stretch the hips back towards the heels. up and back, and the heels are grounding down towards the mat. Okay, and then you can walk your feet out here. So bend one knee, bend the other knee. Just feeling into those hamstrings, nice and easy. Okay. And then from here, we're going to press both heels down to the mat. You can soften your knees a little bit here. Try to bring your chest closer to your thighs so that your armpits are open and your spine and your arms are nice and long and stretched. Okay, take one more deep breath in. Good. Exhale, look forward, bend the knees, and just walk your feet to the top of your mat. Separate your feet pretty wide, about mat width apart, and then little bend in your knees. Hold opposite elbows and relax your head. And then just let the head be nice and heavy. Let it stretch your spine. Soften your eyes, soften your jaw. And feel the stretch down the spine, down the backs of your legs, the whole backside of your body. Deep breaths in and out here. Just bringing attention to whatever sensations arise. Where do you feel them? Slow, steady breaths in and out. Okay. And then from here, we're going to release the hands to the floor. Straighten your right leg and let your left knee bend. Okay. And then from here, you're going to switch. So you're going to bend the right knee and straighten the left leg. So you're just kind of pedaling your feet out. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. And then bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Good. Do that one more time on your own. Just deepening the stretch in the hamstrings and the calves. Good. And then from here, we're going to bring the feet hip width apart once again. Place your fingertips on your shins and just lengthen your spine. Straighten your arms and bring your chest parallel to the floor. So your body's in this upside down L shape. And then as you exhale, fold in half. Relax the head. Relax the eyes, the jaw. Bend the knees 90 degrees, press through the feet, and then sweep the arms out and up. Come all the way up to stand. Touch your palms above the head. Look up. And exhale. Draw your hands right back down to your heart. Okay. From here, we'll sweep the arms out and up. Big stretch. Touch your palms above the head. As you exhale, swan dive forward. Come back into that forward fold that we just came out of. Inhale, come halfway up. So long spine, straighten the arms and legs. As you exhale, step that left leg back. We'll come into a low lunge. Bend the front knee about 90 degrees and untuck those back toes. Okay. So press down through that right foot, sweep the arms forward and up, and tuck your tailbone. So your hips are right over the left knee. Deep breath in. Find a point to focus your eyes as you inhale. And exhale, soften your eyes, relax your shoulders. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, squeezing those inner thighs towards each other. Exhale, hold. Keep your eyes focused on one point, just a soft gaze out. 1 more breath in. And exhale. Release that right hand. Just let it drop underneath your shoulder. Reach the left fingertips up to the ceiling and then lean towards your right. Just a little side stretch here. Drawing the left shoulder back. You might feel a little bit wobbly, so you might squeeze your inner thighs towards each other once again. Good. And then inhale, come back up. And release the hands to the floor. So fingertips on the mat. Take a little stretch with this front leg. So extend the right leg, lift the toes up, and fold over the front leg. Okay, so the leg doesn't have to be straight. As long as you're feeling the stretch in your hamstring and your calf, then you're doing just great. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more breath in. One more breath out. And bend that front knee. Bring the hands back to the floor. Downward facing dog. So coming back into that triangle shape that you just were in a few minutes ago. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Feel your hands on the floor. Feel your heels rooting down. As you exhale, press your thighs back. Soften your eyes. Relax your jaw. One more breath here. And exhale, soften the knees. Look forward, step or jump to the top. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale and fold all the way down. Forward fold. Legs can be bent here, especially if your hamstrings are really tight. And this time, bring your hands behind your calves, tuck your chin, and hug yourself a little closer towards your legs. Inhale. Exhale, hugging your upper body to your lower body. And press your thighs back to deepen the stretch in the backs of your legs. Just finding the level that feels just right for your body. So you're kind of lifting your hips up and pressing your thighs back to find the perfect amount of stretch for you at this moment. Last breath. Now bend the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Come all the way to stand, touching your palms above you. Big stretch up, and then exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, let's try the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Touch your palms. Exhale, swan dive forward. Nice and slow, steady movements. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, step your right leg back this time. Lower the front knee, or the back knee, Untuck the toes. Now press through the left foot and inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. So this is a low lunge. Bend into the front knee so that it comes right over the ankle. And try to scoop your tailbone underneath so that you feel a stretch in the front of the right hip here. Okay, so just so you know what it looks like when you're not scooping, it kind of looks like this. I'm pointing my tailbone back. When I'm scooping my tailbone, I'm coming more vertical in the hips here. Spine is nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. We'll stay one more breath. Keep your eyes gazing softly at one point. Exhale, release the left hand. On your inhale, reach the right fingertips high, and then lean to the left. So you're just curving like a banana, very slightly. Your chest stays parallel to the wall in front of you or the screen in front of you. Good. And then as you inhale, come back up and release the hands down. Come into downward facing dog once again. Deep breaths here in down dog. And we'll come into a nice, strong, steady downward facing dog. Okay? And by that, I mean, let's just find our strongest down dog that we can for ourselves in this moment. So spread the fingers wide. Press your hands into the floor like you're trying to stretch your mat away from your feet. Okay? Now, if your hamstrings are tight, soften your knees. Bring your chest closer to your thighs and really feel that stretch in your armpits. Feel the arms and the spine stretching. Okay, and then you can start to straighten your legs here if your hamstrings are feeling open for that. So you'll just press your thighs back. Notice when your body starts to resist, okay? And then just pause and just settle into that pose. Don't push past the resistance, but you're just kind of dancing and playing and exploring with that resistance with your body. One more breath here. Exhale. We'll soften the knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Okay, inhale, come halfway up. Long spine, press those thighs back, and then exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Touch your palms above you. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. From here, we're going to sweep the arms out and up, touch the palms, and then again, swan dive forward. Inhale, come halfway up. And then exhale, left leg back. And this time, we're going to keep the back knee lifted and bend into that front knee so it comes right over the ankle once again. Okay, so we'll come into a wider lunge this time. Inch the right foot towards the edge of your mat, okay, towards the right side of your mat. And then place your hands on the floor under your shoulders. Okay, so if you want a deeper stretch, slide the back foot back until you can, again, feel that resistance, and then just pause there. Now very gently we'll rock the body side to side, and we're just exploring into the sensations here in the hips. Okay. If this is hurting your wrists at all, you can make fists and kind of come onto the on this part of your fingers here so that it feels a little bit more supportive. Okay. And then with your left kneecap, let's make little circles. So imagine there's a pencil sticking out of your left kneecap, and you're just making little circles in one direction and then in the other direction. Good. And then we'll go ahead and lower the left knee to the floor. So if you don't have a blanket or a towel under your knee, you can place it there now if you want some padding. Untuck the back toes, and then we'll stay up on our arms, or if you want to come a little deeper, you can flatten your hands, or you can even roll onto the outer edge of the right foot here. Okay, turn the right knee out and maybe come down onto your forearms. Okay, so just find what works for you here. Some people are able to come all the way down to place their forehead on the floor, and some of us will be a little bit higher like this. Okay, we're not really worried about how far we're coming into the pose or what it looks like, but more so that you're feeling a nice deep stretch, especially through this left hip flexor and probably through this right hip as well. Okay. And we'll settle here. Go ahead and try to deepen and slow your breath down. If your breathing becomes very fast in a yoga pose or in a yoga practice, and you're not intentionally doing that, it might be a sign that you just need to back off a little bit. If something starts to feel painful or unsustainable, then just ease off a bit. Okay, you should be able to breathe slow and steady in each pose. If you have yoga blocks, you can also place your forearms on your yoga blocks as well. And relax your head. We'll take a couple more breaths. Okay, and then on your next inhale, we'll slowly start to walk ourselves back up onto our hands. Place your right foot flat on the floor, tuck those back toes, and then inch the right foot back in line with your right hip. Okay, same thing we did earlier. Stretch the front leg, lift the toes if you want it a little bit deeper, and draw your hips back. Okay, so the hips are square to the top of the mat. You're kind of pulling your right heel, dragging it back on the mat, and dragging your right hip back. Okay, and just so you know what what it's like when you're not squaring your hips to the front of the mat. You'll feel your right hip kind of pushing forward and out. We want to draw the right hip back in line with the left hip. Couple more breaths here. And again, just find your edge in this pose. So you want to meet that resistance very gently. You can even bend your elbows and fold over the front leg a little bit. Breathing deeply. Good. And then from here, we'll lower that foot, place the hands flat on the floor, and come into downward facing dog. Big stretch back. Take a breath here. Just feel your body kind of reset. Feel the difference from the right side to the left side. Okay. And then we'll shift the weight to the right foot. Bring the left foot forward and step it between the hands. You might have to kind of help your foot out with your hands. Yeah. And then drag the right foot back until you start to feel that stretch in front of the right hip here. Okay. And then we'll come into our wider lunge, inching the left foot to the edge of the mat. Hands are underneath the shoulders. And we'll lower the hips as much as is comfortable and rock gently side to side. So pretty deep stretch here for that right hip flexor. Again, make little circles with the right kneecap in one direction. And then in the other direction. Good. And then lower that knee to the floor onto your towel or blanket and untuck the toes. Okay. So again, you can stay here if this is enough for you. You can roll onto the outer edge of the left foot and kind of open the knee out to the side to make space to lower onto the forearms if you're looking for a deeper stretch. Start to slow and deepen the breath. Relax the head. I'm just noticing what's coming up for you in this pose. You might notice one side feels a little or a lot different than the other side. And just really being with your body here, being with whatever sensations arise. Your sensations are just little messages from your body to yourself. And if a sensation becomes too painful or intense, that's just a little message from your body to back off a little bit. Okay, so really paying attention to what your body's telling you and developing a nice healthy relationship with your body as opposed to just pushing through things that are painful, that our body's resisting. And we'll slowly begin to release, coming back up onto the hands. We'll inch the left foot back in line with the left hip, okay? And then extend the front leg and draw the hips back. You can lift your toes to deepen. The hip is coming right over the knee. And we're dragging the left heel back, squaring the hips to the front of your mat. So the left hip draws back and the right hip pushes forward. Yeah? And that will intensify the stretch, as you might be able to tell already. Oh, and if you want to deepen, just soften the upper body, relax your head. Breathing here. Just feeling yourself really present with this experience, with your body, with these sensations. If there's a lot of thoughts swirling around in your brain, no problem. Just kind of noticing whatever is coming up. And we don't have to feed into any thoughts or stories right now. It's almost like we're just stepping back and observing from a place of detachment and curiosity. And take one more breath here. Okay. And we'll bend the front knee and come into your last downward facing dog for the day. Make it nice and strong, and we'll take 3 breaths. Okay, so fingers are spread really wide. The knees can be a little bent if the hamstrings are tight. Focus more on lengthening and straightening your spine and bringing your chest closer to your thighs. Okay, so your chest, your armpits feel nice and open, and then you can start to press your thighs back. Soften your elbows just a little bit and hug your elbows towards your midline. You'll feel your shoulder blades broaden on your back, and then relax your head. One more breath here. And exhale out. Notice how your body feels in this pose. Maybe it's a little different than the first down dog you started today. And then we'll lower the knees. Separate the knees as wide as is comfortable. Untuck the toes. And then sit the hips back to the heels. This is child's pose. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Bring the forehead down. Okay, if your forehead doesn't reach the floor, you can make a little fist with your hands. Stack them on top and rest your head on your fists. So this is a nice hip opener. Knees are apart as much as is comfortable. The hips are grounding down. Spine is getting a nice stretch as well. Deepen the breath here. And just notice how this pose feels in your body and also how it feels in kind of overall for your mind. Does it make you feel like your thoughts are racing? Does it make you feel a little bit more calm? Does it make you feel energized? Does it make you feel relaxed? And it's really nice to just ask yourself how each pose feels to you, because every single pose that we do with our bodies has specific intentions and effects on our bodies, on our minds, our energy levels, our physiology. And take a couple more breaths here in child's pose. And this pose is called child's pose because this is a pose that a lot of kids take just instinctively when they want to kind of calm themselves down or when they're feeling overly stimulated. They'll kind of roll up into a ball. They'll maybe put their foreheads on the floor, which actually stimulates a relaxation response. That space between the eyebrows is an acupressure point. And so you might notice that this pose makes you feel a little bit more calm and grounded. Really nice pose to do if you're feeling stressed out, if you have a lot going on and you feel scattered. One more breath here. Good, and then we'll start to walk our hands towards us. And we'll bring the knees together, can move any blankets or towels out of the way. And we'll come to sit. We're going to take a nice wide-legged forward bend in just a moment. I'm just going to explain, when we come into this forward bend, try to keep your feet flexed and ground your knees. So we'll open the legs apart as much as is comfortable. Okay, and if your legs are only this much apart, no problem. Whatever you do, just try to flex those feet. You can bring your hands behind you and scoot your hips forward to deepen the stretch a little bit and get your hips vertical. Okay, so press your thighs, press your knees down into the mat. Bring your hands out in front of you and lift through the crown of your head. Okay, so it might feel kind of awkward. You might be rounding in your back a little bit. That's no problem. Just do your best. You'll notice you have to kind of draw your lower belly in, draw your lower back forward in order to stay vertical here. So we're developing the muscles in our core, developing a healthy posture as we try to hold in this pose. Just take a couple of breaths here. You can close your eyes and just draw your attention into your body and notice what has to happen here. Notice all the engagement happening in your body to keep yourself upright. Okay. And then from here, sitting nice and tall, we'll bring the hands out in front of us and just walk the hands forward, leaning the upper body towards the floor. Once you can't lean forward anymore, then we'll allow the spine to round. Let the chin come to the chest, and you can lower down to stretch the spine and feel the stretch through the inner thighs and hips. Chin comes to the chest. As you inhale, feel your chest rise up to your chin. As you exhale, feel the chest fall. Inhale, feel your chest rise, belly expands. Exhale, the chest falls, the belly draws in towards your spine. And again, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Okay. Now, if you have a little room to deepen into this pose, you can walk your hands a bit farther forward. Maybe let your upper body come closer to the floor. But we're not forcing anything. Okay, we're not pulling ourselves down. We're just seeing if we've created a little bit more space in the body to deepen. And you might notice you're already at your maximum. In that case, just stay where you are. Couple more breaths here. So we're just getting a nice stretch through those inner thighs, the hips, the spine. Good. As you inhale, slowly start to walk yourself back up. Good. And then from here, tuck the left leg in. I'm going to mirror you so it's not confusing. And keep the right foot flexed, thighs pressing down. Okay. So right hand, palm faces up, left arm reaches out and up, and we're just going to lean towards the right leg. Try to keep your top shoulder back and your chest parallel to the screen or the wall in front of you. Okay, so we're not dropping the shoulder down like this. We're opening the chest and drawing the left shoulder back. Okay, reach through those top fingertips. Nice big side stretch here. Feeling it move all the way down the left side of your ribs and waist and hip. You can let your head relax if that feels good. Inhale. And exhale. Good. One more breath, reaching through those left fingertips. And again, settling into your edge in this pose, however high or low it might be. But I just want you to play with finding that. So if you're hanging out here and you're like, I don't really feel anything, maybe lower your body a little bit more until you feel a deeper stretch down the side of your body, maybe through the inner thigh as well. Last inhale. Good. And slowly bring the arm back up and down. We're going to roll ourselves back up, cradle the head with your hand, and then use the hand to press the head back up. Okay, and then just pause at the top, take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Good, and we'll switch. So bring the right leg in, extend the left leg out. Flex the left foot, palm faces up, and then inhale, sweep the right arm out and up, leaning towards the side to the extended leg. Draw the right shoulder back. Imagine you're shining your heart up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths in and out. And again, just feeling into your edge, wherever that might be. And it might be different on this side compared to the first side. Good. Reach through those fingertips a little more. Last breath. And inhale. Bring the arm out and up. Cradle the head with your left hand and press yourself back up. Good. Release the hands. And we're going to bring the left foot in and sit cross-legged here for a moment. So when you're sitting cross-legged, we're going to flex the feet and then just try to bring your shins parallel to the front of the mat. So you're just pushing your shins forward a little bit. And then bring the heels under your knees as much as you can. Okay, if that feels a little uncomfortable, then just sit regular cross-legged like this. Okay? As you inhale, sit up tall. And as you exhale, walk the hands forward and just find a stretch here. So you're going to feel this in your outer hips. You can come down as much or as little as you like. Just a couple breaths here. And just settling into your variation here, finding your edge, however high or low. And then inhale, slowly come back up. And we'll switch the cross of the legs. So the other leg is now in front. Flex the feet, shins parallel to the side of the mat. And bring the knees over the ankles if you can. And then slowly lower down. Relax the head, soften the eyes, deep breaths here. Good, and slowly walk yourself back up. Sitting up nice and tall. Lifting through the crown of the head. Take a moment to pause at the top. Deep breath in. And out. Good. Use your hands to bring the knees back together. Extend the legs out in front. Give your legs a little wiggle up and down. You can wiggle your toes. Good. And we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. We'll come into happy baby for our last pose before Shavasana. So bend your knees towards you. Feet face up to the ceiling, and then open the knees apart as much as you comfortably can. You can hold either behind your thighs, or you can hold ankles or bottoms of the feet if you can. Otherwise, hold here behind the thighs and just relax your head. Take some deep breaths in and out. Just feel this nice release through the hips. Deep breath in, eyes and jaw relaxed. Deep breath out. You can rock a little bit side to side here if you like. One more breath. Exhale out. Bring the knees together. Wrap your arms around the legs. And give yourself a big hug. Forehead towards the knees. Tighten everything. Roll into a tiny little ball and squeeze in tight. Tighten up your whole face. And then stretch your face. Stick out the tongue. Roll the eyes back. And release. Bring your head to the floor and come to lay down on your back. Legs are straight, feet mat width apart, toes to the sides, and the hands away from the body, palms up. This is called Shavasana. It's going to be our final relaxation pose for today. If this is not comfortable, try bending your knees, feet apart, knees resting together. Wherever you are, take a deep breath in through the nose. Big exhale through your mouth. One more time, deep breath in. Nice ah sound on this exhale. And just feeling your body rest and settle into your mat. Feel your eyes relaxed, your jaw relaxed. Feel the belly rising and falling with your breath. And we'll just give ourselves the next couple minutes to rest here, to finish our practice. I'll let you know when it's time to come out by ringing a bell 3 times. Shanti. Peace. Begin to deepen the breath, feeling your belly rise and fall. As you inhale, feel the fresh air fill your body. As you exhale, feel the beautiful release and softening that comes with each and every exhale. And gently wiggle the fingers and toes, roll the hands and feet, waking the body, bringing some movement into the body. And on your inhale, find a big stretch. Reach the arms up, stretch your legs, point the toes. And then exhale, roll to your left side. Take a moment to pause in a fetal position for a breath or so. And then make your way up to a tall, comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head, resting the hands on the legs, and just take a moment to pause. And notice how you feel after your practice, if it's any different than when you came in today. Noticing any effects of your practice. We'll bring our hands together in front of the heart and tuck the chin. And thank ourselves for making the time for our health, for our well-being. I know it's not always easy to make the time in your day, and I'm so glad that you did, and I hope that you feel the effects of it for yourself. We'll finish with a short blessing you can say out loud or in your mind. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I be at peace. And now wishing the same things for others that we wish for ourselves. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. Thank you for sharing your practice. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.